Welcome, Etienne. A couple of questions for you. What is intellectual property, and why are trademarks, designs, and other rights so important for SMEs and entrepreneurs?
Well, I think, intellectual property in general plays a huge role in the economy. It really, protects the uniqueness of business creations, products, and services. I would say it's the kind of business card for, a company. It's the way to identify itself in the market through its creations, through its products, through its services. So it plays a huge role in protecting the creativity, the products, the services of our businesses.
Do you think that overall businesses, SMEs, and entrepreneurs make proper use of intellectual property?
Well, I think they do. Probably, particularly in the European Union, we could do better. We have approximately 25 million SMEs. Out of those, there are about 21 million that are micro enterprises. They have a huge contribution to the EU economy. They contribute about 45% to EU GDP, almost 30% of, direct employment within the European Union. Still, only 9% of our SMEs have registered rights. So I think we need to perhaps help them to register more, to protect themselves, because this is part of their strategy and it will really help them into the marketplace.
What about the situation in Cyprus? Do you have any views of advice to Cyprus businesses?
Well, I think, it's like anywhere else within the European Union. I think, Cyprus businesses are more and more relying on intellectual property. But I think there is really an opportunity to raise awareness, to explain to them the value of intellectual property so that they register more. They register their trademarks, their designs, they get prepared for a kind of, more global market. We live in the intangible economy. We live in the era of internet. It's extremely important for our businesses to be part of that. And there is no better way to do that than through intellectual property.
And what do you think about the state of intellectual property in Cyprus?
Well, I think it's really in good shape. I think the situation is really good. The intellectual property section of the Department of Registry of Companies and Intellectual Property is small, but really well managed and a very efficient office. I would say that the registrar, Ms. Milona Christostomou, whom I had the pleasure to meet on a couple of occasions, and her team are doing a very good job. I would say a fantastic job. The registry is a forward-thinking IP office that is really, has a vision to really create an efficient, fast, and modern service to businesses to really promote entrepreneurship in Cyprus.
You're the CEO of INTA, the biggest brand owners organization worldwide, based in New York, and you are now a candidate to become the EUIPO Office Executive Director. Why is IP so important for the EU and for Cyprus in particular?
Well, again, we're competing in the digital economy. We're competing in the global economy. So we really need to all together enhance the IP ecosystem. And that means there's need to be a very close cooperation between the European IP office and the member states' IP offices, so the Cyprus IP office. And that means really, helping in kind of, developing existing tools, creating new tools, enhancing the cooperation, nurturing talent, promoting IP among our businesses, protecting our consumers, and also, and that's extremely important, supporting financially the member states' IP offices, because we absolutely need to keep the two routes, the EU route and the national protection route, which is the one that is really being used by our, small businesses and entrepreneurs.
How would you like to help Cyprus as the possible EUIPO ED?
Well, again, I think, it would be very important to have an enhanced cooperation. I think the cooperation between EUIPO and Cyprus, to my knowledge, is already very strong. But I think there are really things that can be done, implementation of IT tools, development of new tools, raising awareness among SMEs and entrepreneurs, identifying and nurturing talent within the network, raising awareness on IP among our youth, but also really defending and promoting the Cyprus economy. For example, Cyprus has, many GIs, is a strong country, from a kind of agricultural perspective as well. So that's something that needs to be promoted, needs to be enhanced, needs to be reinforced. Plus, of course, the huge service industry in Cyprus need to be promoted and enhanced as well from an IP perspective.
Any final comments or requests to the government of Cyprus?
Well, as a French candidate to the EUIPO, I have the strongest support from the French government. I know that President Christoulides is meeting with President Macron. There is a very strong bilateral cooperation between the two countries, France and Cyprus. That's particularly true when it comes to defense matters, to security, to education. Well, IP should definitely be part of that. We need to really support our SMEs. We need to protect our consumers. We need to promote IP among our youth. And we also need to look at the cooperation between EUIPO and Cyprus IP Office. I would love to be able to develop all that, and I would love to do that with the support of Cyprus.
Terrific. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you.